Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Project Heart for God, H4G for short. My name is Kevin. On this channel we discuss all things faith-based. I recently turned a new decade. I recently turned 30 and I'm just so grateful for what God has done for me in the past 3 decades so far and how He's ushered me into this 4th one. So this past month I've been taking some time to just kind of reflect on all that I've experienced, all that I've gone through within my 20s, and figured I'd make a video here to kind of share that with you guys, and I hope that you're able to take from it what you will, take some life lessons that I've experienced and be able to kind of apply that to your life, and some mistakes and things that I've done, hopefully that you learn from it and not make those yourself, right? And some of the life lessons that I've gained. So the first thing that I learned that I want to be able to make sure that you get out of this, if you get nothing else from this video, is this life lesson, is to love God with all your heart and soul, love people, and live peaceably with all. Like I said, I'm not going to get into details into all of these. There's a lot of things in here that I want to list off here, but keep that in mind. Live peaceably with all people, those that you like and those that you don't like. The second thing is Bible reading. When you're reading a Bible, use a study Bible. Read consistently. Read slowly and take notes. Pastor John said, when you rake, you get leaves, but when you dig, you get diamonds. And I wholeheartedly believe that. The third point in here is just financial literacy. In my 20s, I learned investing and appreciating assets and personal skill development is so key. Diversify your financial portfolio, diversify your personal portfolio. Consider the short term and the long term as well, and live within your means, guys. Live within your means. The fourth point I have here, though, is that though you live within your means, make sure you're not stingy. Don't be stingy and don't blow the bank. Have balance between the two, right? Nextly, it's okay to do something or get something nice for yourself from time to time. And that I had to realize in a difficult way. The next point here is just invest time in your family. Mend relationships that need mending. Next point in here is to give generously. When it comes to giving, give generously. Give until it hurts. Rest, and then get back and give some more, right? So give generously from a heart, and give from a place of cheer and just love when you give. Next point here is just be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You're gonna be in a lot of situations where you may be uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Learn from Ruth from the Bible, from the book of Ruth. Learn from Ruth and take calculated risk. We'll hopefully get into more detail on that in another video. Next point here is prioritize your health. Spend your money on good, healthy food and exercise, or spend your money on your medical bills. You decide. At the end of the day, you decide that. Spending money on exercising, spending money on making healthy food choices, or spending that money down the road on medical bills, expensive medical bills. You decide. The next point here, Proverbs chapter 16 verse 4 essentially says that the Lord has made everything for His purpose, even the wicked for the day of trouble. And just a note on this is that some fights are not yours to fight. I remember when I became a believer, when I decided I want to spend more time with God and grow in God, I thought every fight was my fight to go pick, but I soon realized that some fights are not your fights to pick. Or there are some fights where you must walk away lest you risk your life. If God has not decided to humble wicked people, there is nothing your prayers will do. Keep pushing and you just might get hurt. Now, this doesn't mean that you stop praying, right? But realizing and understanding that the battle is not yours. Truly, the battle belongs to the Lord. And He will move if He decides to. Another point on here is just plan, be a planner, but allow for flexibility when things do not go according to plan. Men plan, but the Lord is the one who answers, right? The answer is from the Lord. So be flexible when things do not go according to plan. The next point here is that God will lead you to the well, but He will not force you to take a drink. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is move in faith. When God gets you to a place, move in faith. The next point on here, on forgiveness. Forgiveness is mandatory. Reconciliation is highly encouraged. Reconciliation requires deep discernment to determine whether or not you're dealing with a Peter or you're dealing with a Judas. If you're dealing with a Peter, you most likely go the reconciliation route. But when you're dealing with a Judas, you realize that there are some people that is best for you to love from afar. The next point that I have on here is just on community. Prioritize biblical community and biblical service. And another point that I have here as well is just, one thing that I notice is that the light of God can be found in some of the darkest places in the world. When God calls you to go there, go there. When there's something that bothers you in this world, realize that it's not just, realize that it's not bothering you for no reason. Realize that it's bothering you and you're most likely the person that has to do something about it. And God is going to equip you to be able to do so. I've just been so blessed to be able to have that opportunity in my 20s to go in some really dark places in this world and just see so much hope and so much love. And it gives me the joy, it gives me the reminder that God is working in all corners of this earth. So when God calls you to move, when God calls you to go into some of these really difficult places, go there and accept the call. The second to last point that I want to share with you guys was actually a quote that I heard recently. It says that on the top mountain of blessing, we can understand how big God's love is for us. But only at the bottom of the valley of suffering, we can understand how big our faith and love for Him is. And lastly, I'll leave you guys with one of the biggest things that I've had to learn in my 20s is this. One of the biggest things I've had to learn in my 20s is that God is a God of order and God is a God of time. He loves you more than you can imagine, but His love for you will not supersede the order in which He has ordained things to occur in your life. No matter how much praying you do or good works you do, if the God-ordained and appointed time has not been reached, what you are asking of the Lord will not happen. If it's not your time, it's simply not your time, and you cannot force the hand of God. Hang tight and rest easy, and realize that everything will fall into place in due season. When it's your time, God will move faster than the speed of light to work what He has purposed, and no power, nor principality, nor curse, nor witchcraft will be able to stop that. Beloved, it doesn't mean that you stop praying. Keep on praying, but pray and realize that you are working on God's time and not on your own. Brothers and sisters, be encouraged. Be filled with the joy of the Lord. Whatever age you may be, whether in your teens, whether in your 20s, or even if you're in your 30s, I hope that you're able to take some things from here that you will find to be a blessing in your life. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.